I guess looking at it now, my old man was cut out for a fat guy. One of those regular little roly fat guys you see around. But he sure never got that way, except a little toward the last. And then it wasn't his fault.
Sweating plenty? Hey, Joe!
When I'd sit watching him working out, I sure felt fond of him. He sure was fun, and he'd done his work so hard.
È pazzo.
Incredibile. Si fosse lavorare così, per niente.
Sure as hell keeping it down, Joe. Ain't like when you're a kid.
Una birra.
Si, senor.
What's the matter, Dad?
Oh, the heck with it.
Most jocks lose a couple of pounds every time they ride. But my old man was sort of dried out, and he couldn't keep his pounds down without all that running. I was nuts about the horses. There's something about it when they come out and go up the track to the post. Sort of dancy and tight-looking, with the jock keeping a tight hold on them, and maybe easing off a little, and letting them run a little going up. Then once they were at the barrier, got me worse than anything. You know the way a bunch of skins gets off. All you see is them plunging off, and then that bell goes off. And it seems like it rings for 1,000 years, and they come sweeping around the turn. There wasn't ever anything like it for me. Come on.
Ah, the heck
was great riding.
This course rides itself. None of these things are horses, Joe. They'd kill that bunch of nags for their hides and hoofs up in Paris.
It was right after that race that we pulled out and left Italy.
Perdu presque 10 000 $ par ta faute, pour rien. Il me les faut, Butler.
My old man and Holbrook and a fat Italian were having an argument. They were all talking French, and the two of them were after my old man about something.
Si t'avais voulu, t'aurais pu le faire.
Dieu sait que tu as truqué assez de courses, non?
Go get me a paper, will you, Joe? You didn't pay me anything, Holbrook.
We had a deal, Butler. We shook hands on it.
You cheated me. You made me lose money, and you'll pay it back. All of it. We have ways to make you pay it back.
There are ways,
Butler.
You'll never get another license to ride here, Butler. Believe me, I can see to that.
You'll be through. Finished. Understand?
Listen to me, Butler.
I want my money.
Want an ice cream, Joe?
You son of a...
You gotta take a lot of things in this world, Joe.
Three days later, we left Milan for good on the Turin train for Paris. We got into Paris early in the morning in a long, dirty station the old man told me was the Gare de Lyon. Paris was an awful big town after Milan. I got to like it, though, part of it anyway. I say it's got the best race courses in the world. We went out to live at Maison Lafitte, where just about everybody lives except the gang at Chantilly, with a Mrs. Myers that runs a boarding house. Maison is about the swellest place to live I've ever seen in all my life. The town ain't much, but there's a lake and a swell forest that a couple of us kids used to go fooling around in. Mrs. Myers used to give me lunch in the morning, and I'd be gone all day. As soon as we got to Maison, my old man wrote to Milan for his license, and he was pretty worried till it came. They sent it through to him without a word, and he wrote a couple of times. Amiens, up country, and that sort of thing. But he didn't seem to get any good engagement. I couldn't figure out why. Everybody liked him, and whenever I'd come into the cafe, I'd find somebody drinking with him, because my old man wasn't tight like most of the jockeys.
Hi, kid.
But it seemed like everybody steered clear of giving my old man any mounts. We went out to wherever they were running every day with a car from Maison, and that was the most fun of all. I sure learned about racing from going out with that gang, and the fun of it was going every day. I remember once out at a toy. It was a big 200,000 franc race with Czar a big favorite. This Czar is a great big horse that looks like just nothing but run. I never saw such a horse. I felt all hollow inside, he was so beautiful.
Allez, Butler, allez. Vous aussi.
Hello, Ben. That you, Tommy? How are you doing? How are you, Harry?
Pretty good, Ben.
How are you doing, George?
Hello, Ben. How are you, Joe?
You riding, Czar?
Uh-huh.
What's the dough?
He won't win.
Who will?
Kirk Cubbon? If he does, cut me in.
Great life, huh, George?
Don't ever bet on anything I tell you.
Kirkhaven, 5,000 to win, 1,000 to place.
4,000 gagnants, 1,000 placés.
Number 4 is Kirkhaven, kid.
Gee, it's awful when they go by you. And then you have to watch them go further away and get smaller and smaller. And you feel like swearing worse and worse. Come on, Czar! Come on! Wasn't it a swell race, Dad?
George Gardner's a swell jockey, all right. Sure took a great jock to keep that Czar horse from winning.
Of course, I knew it was funny all the time. But my old man saying that right out like that sure took the kick all out of it for me. And I thought, I wish I were a jockey and could have rode him instead of that dirty cheat. And that was funny thinking of George Gardner as a cheat, because I'd always liked him. And besides, you'd given us the winner. But I guess that's what he is, all right. My old man had a big lot of money after that race, and he took to coming into Paris oftener. He and I'd sit out in front of a cafe and watch the people go by. It's funny sitting there. There's streams of people, and all sorts of guys come up to you and want to sell you things. And I love to sit there with my old man. Guys would come by selling things that jumped if you squeezed a bulb. And they'd come up to us, and my old man would kid with them. He could talk French just like English, and all those kind of guys knew him, because you can always tell a jockey. Gee, I remember the funny people that used to go by. Girls around supper time, looking for somebody to take them out to eat. And they'd speak to my old man, and he'd make some joke at them in French. Once there was an American woman sitting with her kid daughter at the next table to us. I made up ways that I was going to speak to her. And I wondered if I got to know her, if her mother would let me take her out to a toy or Tremblay. But I never saw either of them again. Anyway, I guess it wouldn't have been any good. My old man was dropping money every day at the track. He'd feel sort of doleful after the last race if he'd lost on the day, until we'd get to our table and he'd have his first whiskey, and then he'd be fine.
Where's your girl, Joe?
What girl?
You know what girl. Over there eating ice cream.
I don't know where she is. I just saw her that once.
Keep your eyes peeled for her. She'll be back. Sure, we used to race on the ice. They laid out the track on a frozen lake. That was down at San Moritz before your mother died. Boy, it was great in those days, Joe. You know, sometimes it'd be snowing and be just like running through a solid white wall. You know, Joe, during the war, we used to race down the south of France without any purses or betting, or even crowd watches, just to keep up the breed. We used to race hell out of those horses, just like there was big money in it. It's funny. When I was a kid, that hill country back in Kentucky was a regular wilderness. You had to be a pretty fair woodsman just to find your way around, especially at night. That's when we used to go coon hunting. Boy, that was good times, Joe. It's not the same now. Everything's changed. Everything's in a mess back there now. When we got a distant stake together, you're going back to the States and go to school.
Will you come?
No.
What have I got to go back there to school for when everything's in a mess there?
That's different for you.
One day at a toy, after a selling steeplechase, my old man bought in the winner for 30,000 francs. He had to bid a little to get him, but the stable let the horse go finally, and my old man had his permit and his colors in a week. I thought Guilford was as good a horse as are. He was a good, solid jumper with plenty of speed on the flat if you asked him for it. And he was a nice-looking horse, too. Gio was fond of him. The first time he started with my old man up, he finished third in a 25,000-meter hurdle race. I felt as proud of my old man as though it was the first race he'd ever placed in. See, when a guy ain't been riding for a long time, you can't make yourself really believe that he's ever rode. The whole thing was different now. I couldn't hardly sleep the night before a race, and I knew my old man was excited too, even if he didn't show it. Riding for yourself makes an awful difference. Second time Guilford and my old man started was a Sunday at a toy in the Prix du Murat, a 4,500-meter steeplechase.
Laissez-moi passer.
Vous ne pouvez pas passer.
Laissez passer. Qu'est-ce qu'il se passe?
Est-il gravement blessé?
Vous ne pouvez pas passer ici. Gravement blessé. Il est mort.
I couldn't help feeling that if my old man was dead, maybe they didn't need to have shot Guilford. His leg might have got well. I don't know. I love my old man so much.
Allô? Ici l'infirmerie d'Auteuil. Il y a eu un accident, un jockey s'est tué. Oui. Est-ce que vous pouvez envoyer une ambulance? Bon, merci, j'attends.
Come on, Joe, old boy. Get up. We'll go and wait for the ambulance.
Butler finally got his, all right.
Well, I don't give a darn if he did. He had it coming, the crooked deals he's pulled.
Well, he won't throw any more races now.
Don't you listen to what those bums said, Joe. Your old man was one swell guy.
But I don't know. Seems like when they get started, they don't leave a guy nothing.